Hey guys, how's it going? Azoh here. No, not the Azoh in the bottom right you are watching right now. This is the disembodied voice of Azoh, who is reviewing the second game I played in my placement on my Smurf. I streamed these games. It was very entertaining. It was very successful, I think. A lot of people found it very interesting. And I've also been requested to do game reviews for a long time. I've done a couple of them, but I thought, why not just get back into it? Because this will showcase mistakes that low players do kind of a lot and how I capitalize on them. Particularly also how I take advantage of ZED or LeBlanc or whoever I'm playing in certain matchups. And it shows very clearly. When I'm playing in Master Tier, it's often very even, or I'm doing bad. But here you can clearly see what I'm doing and how I'm taking advantage of it. You can also see the horrible haircut I currently have because the barber thought, hey, you know what? Let's take all of his hair. I specifically asked not to get too short, but anyway, on the game. We're playing ZED versus Fizz this game, and ZED has an advantage this game pre-6. And post-6, if you play it right with his E, his troll pull, you can usually play around not getting your ultimate dodged. But in early game before that, this is one of the lanes which ZED has a kind of a strong advantage, particularly because most Fizzes do Corrupting Potion, and if you don't play around Corrupting Potion right, it's a very, very weak item. If you play around it right, it can be very strong. Here's a good situation showcasing, yes, I'm using VLC, Sumi. Here's a good situation showcasing why this lane is pretty okay. Let's get back to that again. Because ZED has, as I said, a strong advantage early game because of his QE passive and QE passive and Thunderlords, which is easy to proc with QE passive and, you know. So in this situation, I messed up by using Q too early, but he realizes the threat immediately, and he uses a flask. Now, essentially he's using his entire first item, 1/3 of his entire first item, while I haven't used anything. He's back at full HP, I'm back at full HP, we're both back at full mana and energy. He just used one potion, and I was able to zone off. As you can see here, he can't really pick up the CS properly here. And that's because I pushed the wave early into him when he didn't have anything, because I knew he took E, and he can't waste E to farm at level 1. So he hits level 3 right now, and I decided to pull back a little bit, but I know he's going to go here, so I proc Thunderlords, because as you can see, when he moves up, right here, I know that he wants to take this minion and then go straight for me, and I want to move backwards, because in this situation, I'm not in a good position to do much of an extended trade, unless he messes it up. Because since he has level 3, and he can use Corrupting Potion at the same time, he has a big possibility to win a trade, but he has to dodge a Q, or he has to at least get ahead in one auto attack. But he doesn't, and I'll show you why. There. Well, I see him moving forward, and did I do Q at the same time? And he gets Thunderlords immediately, because I think it's because he gets auto attack, his W passive, and the Q, obviously. I think they all count as the same thing, so he gets Thunderlords immediately. I Q and E at the same time, both Q and E hits, but the thing is he has Corrupting Potion, and it's not active. So essentially he has no items right now, which means I have the advantage. And he's in, I thought he was in passive range here, but unfortunately he's just in Thunderlord's range, which is still very strong. At this point, he uses Corrupting Potion incorrectly. He should have done it when he was going in, because he was going to take a lot of damage from that trade. He could have won the trade if he'd done Corrupting Potion first, but at this point, it's kind of a wasted item. Just keep doing the farm edge back and forth. I hit level 3, now my zoning potential is pretty big. Here, just a straight up combo, and I get the passive. This is just about waiting, because I think he's kind of hesitant about using his E, though I think he should be using E a little bit more here. It's really hard to scroll through. We'll see this again. Get Thunderlords, back and forth, wait for W. And here, I see him moving up here. He knows I want to go for this minion, So he starts moving back and forth, and then when I go to cannon, or go for this range minion, he starts moving forward. I already know he's going to do this, so I'm waiting for when he lands. Take the minion, wait for when he lands, and obviously the only way he can go is up here. Or actually, he can probably start moving up here. The issue is that Fizz has this passive which makes it so that he can walk through minions. But I expected he'd go up there, and also I moved downwards, making it the most logical way to move to get away from me. Doing Q&E at the same time, setting up my passive, so that if it's only the case that I can get one on attack, I have at least made sure that I get the passive at the same time. So now he is essentially in kill range. Though, keep in mind that I've used my passive, but the interesting part is he still has the minion aggro. All these minions have been hitting him, and all these minions have been hitting me, but I'm in much better shape right now. So, place a W, auto attack, ignite, and he's dead. Fade away, ignite. I think that was pretty clear why I came out on top of here. Now, this is a big mistake on my part. I'm still not entirely sure. I've watched this once after the game, because I was so uncertain what I was supposed to do here. But I think this situation, I wait too much. I wait way too much with shoving. The death timers early game are not very long, so here I just walk back and forth and don't shove out, and then I realize now that it's not going to balance out because I'm doing way too much damage to the minions, which means I am building up a minion wave for him right now, and I'm kind of messing it up because I'm not getting the last hits properly. So now I just gave him a big wave that he otherwise maybe wouldn't have gotten. So here I am unsure if I should get Hex Drinker or not, and since I'm snowballing pretty hard, I go for a Dirk plus a Pink Word and a potion. This is absolutely fine. I usually do Dirk anyway. I think Dirk is better to go first than Hex Drinker, mainly because I feel kind of confident in my ability to trade back and forth properly, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing Hex Drinker first, and I don't think there's like an implication of skill. It's honestly just preference. I think Dirk plus a dagger is better there, though. It also lets me pick up a Pink Word. So obviously we can zone really hard with that extra damage, and he still doesn't have essentially any items. I don't exactly remember what he had at this point, but he did not have many items because he went Corrupting Potion first, and he lost a lot of farm, and I got the kill. So we're super far ahead, and he's using his entire Corrupting Potion just to regain HP right now. He's not getting the benefit of the extra damage, which is huge. You have to always utilize that, or you're just essentially getting a worse flask for more money. Rip flask. So we keep zoning essentially. I'm just waiting for him to go in. I think I mess up a W here. Yeah, that's a really bad W. When he goes in like that, I should instead move forward. When he went in like this, I should not be using a W. I should be moving forward and doing as I showed before. Q into his locked position. I'm going to see if I can not jump back an hour back. Here. This situation here. I see him moving forward to this one. What I should be doing is moving up here. And preparing for him when he does a Q forward, I should just Q into him and E at the same time. Because his jump is fixed. So that's what I should have done. But instead I walk backwards because I'm kind of scared. He has a cloth armor, by the way, so he has essentially no damage at this point. I should win any trade. Because of course the cloth armor is neutralized by the Dirk. I pick up ultimate, and now at this point we have to play around his play for Trickster. It's pretty easy if you know what you're doing, but a good Fizz can definitely screw you over in this part. Just keep farming back and forth. No need to shove it, because he's just going to lose CS on... Because he doesn't want to go in, I can just make him lose CS. He still gets the XP though, so I'm going to pressure him out. He's dead. At that point, he used play for Trickster, and at that point he was dead. If he had waited, I would not have ulted, because I did not want him to ult my application. Or I did not want him to... I didn't want him to playful Trickster the application of the death mark. But in either case, I immediately, since I saw Gragas mid, I start moving bot lane. And here is very important. I place this pink word here at this point, because if I see a word down here, they might bait this, as in I start moving back down here, they see that this is warded, and then they start moving backwards, and I waste time that I could otherwise shoved out mid here. But now that I see that there's no word here, I ping that I'm going to my team so that they might try to stall it. I even asked them to stall it specifically. and at this point, it is just reaping the benefits. I go for Thresh because I think he's more safe of a kill, because I know Caitlyn has E and probably Flash, and by just moving forward, I can force the Flash heal and the Thresh flash. We got the kill. Mid is doing pretty neutral at this point, but as you can see here, since the lane is pushed up slightly towards him, his minions will collapse on this earlier, meaning his minions will kill my minions from the previous wave, and add his minions from the previous wave to the entire wave, the entire new wave, while mine will be completely new, meaning that wave is probably going to push, depending on the size of it, as it were before, and, you know, RNGs. Yes, that was probably going to push because there were more ranged minions. Fizz catches up, and he's going to start farming again. He has a Amplifying Tome again, Amplifying Tome and a Cloth Armor, still essentially no items and no damage, so I'm really not afraid of Fizz. And I should probably start moving down right now, because Lee Sin is kind of out of position. At this point, yeah, Lee Sin is pretty screwed. And I think, unfortunately, Fizz got the kill. Yeah, Fizz got the kill. But Fizz did use Flash, so I know that for the next fight we take. Braum picks up the kill on Gragas. Honestly, it's no big deal. I think people get way too caught up on who gets the kills unless they have Magi's and unless it's like Draven or some shit. In that case, I get a huge minion wave. This just further increases the EXP advantage, the gold advantage I have versus Fizz. He got 1 kill, it's true, but we're still doing amazingly well right now. And since we have Ignite up and Ultimate up in 5 seconds, I think it's optimal to fight as soon as possible. But I don't remember if I did. I guess we'll see. But yeah, I keep shoving it and waiting for him to come back. He should be back in a couple of seconds unless he's roaming, but I don't think he would roam at this point because his turret, he doesn't want to lose his turret. Actually, no, Gragas comes to defend instead. Oh, that was an interesting ultimate. He tried to do the ultimate over the wall and synchronize it with Gragas, but I guess it didn't really work. At that point, I see no I know that Fizz is absolutely no threat, so I just keep moving back and forth. I dodge the Q with ultimate, and then just fade away Q from my ultimate. And since he's moving up to my shadow again, I can just jump back to it, and then place W, move backwards, and then move to my shadow again, because I made it away from my shadow and then moved to it. I think there was a ZED school where I talked about this. I called it the, I think I called it the Shadow Coax. I think it's lesson like 13. I don't remember. There's specifically when you place a shadow and move away from it to another direction. Specifically, if you placed it for more than the only intent of moving away. Obviously here it looked like I was placing it to jump away. I can show you again. It looked like I was placing it to jump away. We can do that again. I dodge the Q. He jumps away, fade away Q. And then since he's moving up to my shadow, I can move to it. And then here, he doesn't die because of very good Thresh shield. And it looked like I was placing my W only for an E, essentially, to last hit him. But I was actually placing it for an escape and, luckily, also a kill. So we get out here cleanly. Notice that Caitlyn wants to go for me right there, so I narrowly avoid, and Caitlyn is currently, yeah, they're fine. They're going to clear my pink ward now, though, so maybe I should pick up a new one. I don't know. I think I just go for Hex Drink with them. I mean, Maul, right, though. So at this point, we are ridiculously strong. Essentially, Fizz has no items, and yeah, we're just impossible to stop. Even if Fizz had items, Maul is ridiculously OP right now. So, and it's getting nerfed next patch or this patch, depending on when this video comes out. So, at this point, we should just smash him down and roam. At this point, the game is really in my hands. If I slack off here, we can easily lose our advantage. Because if you take away my kills from the overall kill and deaths, we are 2 to 3. So if I don't use this advantage for anything, it's useless. Now, I personally think I'm much better at team fighting than I am at laning and roaming. Also, you can see myself hating life for missing minions. This is an interesting ultimate. It really doesn't do anything because I'm just way too strong. He cannot do anything. Honestly, if I was in his situation, I don't know what I'd do, because at this point it's just so oppressive when the enemy laner is super far ahead and it's a duelist and you are yourself a duelist or an assassin who's behind. it's nothing to do. And at this point, Gragas can't do much either. If he stays too long, I can kill both of them because I have ultimate in 2 seconds, but I always play it relatively safe, though. I think that might be... yeah, that's a kill. I was thinking, I'm just not sure if it's a double kill, but they can't do anything 2v1 either at this point because Gragas has mostly AP damage as well, and Maw, with me being so strong, just doesn't do anything. And obviously he was... yeah, he underestimated my straight-up damage without ultimate there. ZED's damage with... people usually underestimate ZED's damage without ultimate because new builds specifically play around everyone having QSS and Kindred ultimates and freaking Bard ultimates and extra Zonias and QSSs and extra QSSs and I don't even know, new Turk ultimate. So new builds really focus on having a consistent damage otherwise, consistent burst otherwise, I mean, because other usual builds is consistent damage with burst from ultimate, but regardless. Shove this out. It honestly, at this point, I don't even know what how I'd mess this up. Maybe I should have pushed this turret out a little bit more, I think, would have been better. At this point, I do believe I buy the wrong item here. Yeah, I don't think Dirk is optimal. This is just a complete stomp build. You know, actually, Dirk might be optimal here. This is one of the biggest things I lay awake at night thinking about Dirk or Warhammers. Because at this point, I don't need more arm penetration. I really don't. But if you're at the point where you really don't need arm penetration, and you get more arm penetration, you know, you're even stronger, you know? This is 1Q. Look at that. That's 1Q. Obviously, he's not very tanky either, but it's really one of the philosophical questions of life that keep me awake at night. I think it was the correct decision, because with all that damage, it's probably fine, but 0% CDR is kind of weak, so... regardless, though, there's a lot of running around, so I guess the downtime kind of fix it. So we're setting up a pretty tricky dive here against Aurelion Sol, who is full tank, by the way, and Gragas. And this was a flash and the fadeaway Q again, and jump back to the shadow that I placed before outside the turret. Now we have to keep a track on the minimap because Fizz is coming here as well, pick up the kill, and then obviously the turret is weak enough that we can just take it down, and I am not afraid here because I have Maw, but might as well avoid the damage because why take it? I can show you that again. It was a very important part that I knew. We saw that this was going to be a 2v2 turning into a 2v3 because if you look at the map, I have placed wards to see that Fizz was potentially moving up because I've shown myself. So ult this and this part. If I get stunned by Gragas there, I would have gotten hit by Aurelion Sol's stun as well, possibly. So it's very important that I used flash. It might have seemed like a flash waste, but it was very important that I did use it. And obviously here, just take down the turret because it's no risk. He can't deal enough damage, so even here using W is redundant, but I mean, like I said, there's no reason to take damage. At this point, the game is just ridiculous because, you know, I should be able to solo win the game at this point. The risk, obviously, is that we are full AD if we drag this out way too long, and I do believe we do drag this out way too long. There's a risk of Lakium catching up to us because, you know, they have a full tank Aurelion Sol, or they have an AP tank Aurelion Sol and Gragas with Cinderhulk. And obviously, anything in this meta can be played full tank with, like, the damagey tank items. You know, the Sunfire, the Iceborne. And it still does a lot of damage. I don't remember, I think it was Valkyrin who made the post that you can play anything as... Okay, this was a mistake, by the way. This was very, very, very stupid. I should never risk something like this. We need to look at that again. I think it was Valkyrin who said that anything can be played tanky, even Talon Kha'Zix can be played tanky LeBlanc. Here, after I realized that I won't be able to do anything here, look at my cooldowns right now. E will never hit. Q is 3 seconds off. Ultimate is nowhere near close. No ignite, no W. I move back in again because greed. Greed. Luckily, I don't end up dying here, I believe. I just run away like an idiot, and Gragas fails his Fat Slam, so honestly, we should just not waste our 2k and just keep moving on. Lee Sin dives a little bit far. Gragas is coming bot lane. I start recalling, which is one of the things that people don't often do. You can start channeling recalls. Here, I make a mistake. I'm like, longsword. No, wait, that's stupid. think I need more damage. No, I need chase potential. Get swiftness, because I really am not afraid of their CC. And then we do a celebratory stretch. Get into our Zen mode. That's good, Azoh. Keep focused and all that jazz. Look at the map. There's a lot of people bot. There's at least three people bot. And once again, we're gonna go bully this Fizz. There's actually 4 people bot, so they're pretty screwed if they stay. We're gonna bully Fizz. Cannot catch up, even with him having only boots and me having Yomas and Swifties. Can't catch him. At least we got his flash. So at this point, this is stupid. I should really start moving bot at this point. I'm just getting farm for no reason. So they die while I could have picked up more kills than I end up doing. I'm not even sure if I actually pick up a kill here. Alright. So here I make sure to see if they're running. They are not. I see the Aurelian Soul. I should have used abilities earlier. I think I should have placed W in that brush earlier. Honestly, it's an honest mistake. It's not that big of a deal. What's funny is that we take the first dragon right now. Yes, I am 11:01 at 15 minutes. No dragon taken. Beautiful, beautiful place. That rotation of a master tier player, it really is showing, isn't it? And I fuck up majorly. You can see my face. I don't think there's anything that tells me more than losing CS that I could have gotten for free. Someone could probably make a compilation of me saying I hate my life every time I miss a CS after like getting a double kill. There's nothing as bad. Losing a game, losing master tier promos, demoting, getting bronze 5. You know, it just can't compare to losing 1 free CS. Pick up the blue for free. And then I think I just go fishing here. Yep, we go fishing. This is really ironic, and you'll see why in a second. Maybe you can figure it out for yourself, actually. ZED goes fishing. Oh, there's the ward. Who could that be? Cue the Jaws music, and there he is. Dum 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 dum. And he's fucked. Even if he was able to get over the wall, I had Yoma's ultimate and W, and he was not going to get out of that. I'm currently 13:01 from picking up some kills because I could definitely not let my 102 bot lane, 102 Ezreal get a kill. That would be preposterous. So I will just eat mid farm some more. I actually have a pretty shitty CS this game, mainly because there's just been so much running around and fighting. So I ward this. Always ward this before you're taking this turret. I just scare him away with a shuriken. And then we go for the turret. I'm not sure if I can take him down because my turret taking capabilities are not amazing. I think I just end up giving it some damage because I don't want to get stunned. I should bear my CC. I actually might be here. I die. Yeah, this is where I realized, hey, wait a second. Huh. That's a full tank Aurelian Soul. Obligatory BM because I fucked up. Then do some damage for no reason. This is just overstaying. I don't know why I'm still here. I'm still here for some reason. Yep. And there we go. You could say it was a bait because I was waiting for Ezreal, but honestly, there was just no reason to stay for that long. Get him. Because they really should have gone back at that point. So I guess you could say I was baiting it, but really, there was no conscious thought. There was just, hey, let's stay and have fun. Which is stupid. Honestly, even if I'm doing a Masters, unranked Masters, I shouldn't be fucking around like that. Because, you know, habits become... There's some clever quote, what you think become what you do, and what you do defines you as a person, and we're all evil, 666, I don't even know what the fuck. So, you know, all that stuff. Habits become actions. You know what you know the quote. You know the quote. I'm gonna stop talking. So, I tried to set up a 1-3-1 here, but I realized that it's better to spend 2.3k, but honestly, at this point, what do I buy with 2.3k? Like Last Whisper, I guess, because they're full tank, but I really need Black Cleaver because I only have 10% CDR, so I started thinking Dominic's Guard, but they have so much tanky. See the cogwheels working in my brain currently in the webcam. And I end up going for a Dirk and a Longsword and a Phage. The Dirk is not going to be built into a Duskblade because I hate Duskblade. I really, really hate Duskblade as an item. I stick by that. I really don't think ZED players should build it. I think it's a terrible item unless you're really snowballing and you build it immediately. This game I could have probably bought it, but honestly, I really don't like it. I really don't think it fits. I think a lot of people misunderstand that. Yeah, it's kind of a mini ZED Ultimate, kind of, not really, but it restricts you from playing, I think. This was just bad play on me, by the way. I was just not following with. It was a good hook dodge, but I wasn't following where Thresh was. I wasn't keeping track of it on myself, so. Do some free damage. At this point, our siege is fantastic with just me and Ezreal, but Lee Sin thinks that he maybe should go in, and I think that he maybe shouldn't go in. So obviously we all screwed up. Ezreal was the only one who was able to block that, by the way. He was the last line of defense. Thank you very much, Ezreal. And we just keep... This is the most frustrating part. I think it takes me like a good 2 minutes to be like, this is not going to happen. Because the full tank team does pretty well. It does a pretty good job at defending because we have Ezreal. That's all. We don't have anything else to take their turrets. Obviously, usually it's only the AD carry, but you oftentimes at least have a mage who can do something. We just have Ezreal. That's it. So you see in the chat, I say 1-3-1, I'll top, don't fight, and this is extremely important because whoever they send top lane, I can kill them because I'm 14-0-1. And really, the biggest mistake here is that they can't... I think it wasn't clear enough because usually I'd like to accompany the 1-3-1 I'll top, don't fight stall with 3000 danger pings. Now the issue is they sent Aurelion Soul top, and then he will never kill me, but since he has like 2 tank items or 1.5 tank items, I won't kill him either. So this was my big mistake here. They are 3 top. This is free inhibitor for my team. I messed up. I got hit. I messed up. Again. Not here, actually. Yeah, there. I was way too late on jumping back. And I also messed up here. This is where I did the biggest mistake in this game, I think. At this point, I should just walk into the brush and recall. But I showed. I stayed and showed. And he flashed, and it's a close call, but he is full tank, and I realized that I won't be able to kill it. So, unfortunately, with no energy to use Qs, this is where the KDA is RIP, unfortunately. And my team is fucking about. They should really take the turrets right now, I think. The entire point of the 1-3-1 is to take turrets. Like, whoever they send top lane, I kill them. If it's 2 people they send top lane, well, I try to kill both, or one, and they take inhibitor at the same time, turret at the same time. And when one inhibitor at least is open, it's free to go in and take it. And at least when the defenses have been breached once, it's easy to just take one inhibitor, go Nash, or take one inhibitor, go Baron, take one inhibitor, or do something else. And if you take in one inhibitor, it's easy to take another one, because then it's not just you don't have to send anyone top to push top pushes by itself. So here, obviously, we massively, I also massively screwed up, but they screwed up the dive, and we all die. But we get the inhibitor, so at this point, we have a good opportunity to just take whatever we want. I think we could still screw up by taking Baron at the wrong time, and I think a dragon is more appropriate. A dragon and a 401 is the best call here, or a 104. I think a 401 is better though, because if they send 3 people bot, I think I didn't say a 401 here, but in hindsight, a 401, as in, sorry if anyone doesn't understand that, 401 means 4 people top lane, 0 people mid lane, and 1 person bot lane. That means, since mid lane is pushing by its own, you have the rest of them going top, and you have me going bot. And as I said before, if they send 1 person bot lane, I kill that person. If they send 2 people bot lane, I can possibly kill one of them. If I play it right, obviously it's tricky. It can be tricky. And if they send, and at that point they are 3 people top lane versus 4 people, and they can take turret or inhibitor, which is the entire logic behind split pushing, essentially. So at this point, Black Cleaver, lovely Black Cleaver with a ton of flat armor penetration. I think it's like 58 flat armor penetration at this point with the armor shred. So I call a I call a 104, which is a incrit call. And the reason why I say that is because if they send 2 people bots, they can not only take turret, but they can also, if it doesn't work, which it might not, they can take a Nasher instead, which is why for a 1 is much more tempting. But Fizz gets caught out, and at that point, game. Here it's just game. I don't think there's anything they can do to defend him at this point. Fizz wasn't really their front fighter, but we should really just dive and kill, and I think that's what we end up doing. Yeah, because Caitlyn moves a little bit too far up here. She moves a little bit too far up, I kill her, go for ultimate, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing here, but you know, it doesn't really matter. I'm just so fed that it doesn't matter what the hell I'm doing, which is probably bad, because the whole habits quote, you know what I meant when I said that, so we take the turret, the game's over, everyone's calling GG. Or actually, they called guys, report Fizz, which is pretty unfair. He didn't do anything. Honestly, Fizz did not play that poorly. It's I guess it's the bad part about smurfing. It also makes me feel a little bit bad about doing it. That you're playing as people who probably don't have as much experience. I don't want to come off as a rude person or anything, but they probably have everyone probably has the same, or not everyone, but people have the same potential to be good players. It's just some people have played the game a lot more and they usually end up better. Also, it's a matchup that ZED does pretty well in. So, at that point, 2 inhibitors down, we really should not need anything else. We can just waltz into the base and kill them. I'd pick up my last Whisper very soon. I got my Black Cleaver. But I think the game goes on for a bit longer because here is a big mistake. I just don't do anything here. As I recall, it was... I remember it like it was yesterday because it was today, but... Yeah, actually, no, we catch out Caitlyn. Even though she had a ward, she cannot escape the Wrath of the Assassins. Or can she? She has Flash and E, and... Connor, HD, thank you very much for subscribing. Love you, buddy. She actually... No, she could escape the Wrath of the Assassins. The Assassins had to escape her Wrath, actually. Or the wrath of her team. And that's a dead Caitlyn. And that's also a dead nothing else, because I run away, because, CC. I hate the buy tanky... Damagey tank items is... so annoying. Anyway. We are 4v4 right now. Their Caitlyn is dead. So, right, they have no way to carry, right? They have no damage, right? Right, guys? No way to carry, no damage, right? Ha, wrong. They have their tank still, so they have all the damage they need. But we can essentially take the turret if we just don't fuck around too much, but I think that's exactly what we're doing. I don't know why I'm walking around bot lane trying to mess around with Fizz. It's really no point in doing it, right? Because if you look at the map right now, Yasuo's running mid lane, and this is going to push onto their turrets. I think we're sitting at 3 dragons. We're sitting at 2 dragons versus 0 dragons, as I recall. Or maybe 1 dragon. Dragons are going to be irrelevant, essentially, anyway. We should really force a fight whenever. At this point, I think we do, because Thresh dies. If it's not really us forcing a fight, honestly, we don't deserve winning this situation. Because their inhibitor's up right now, and they only have a Fizz who has a Zonius to defend, which is not enough. And we are still not able to do anything. We have 2 inhibitors, we have a 16 and 1 ZED, and we still aren't able to do anything. It's really, really poor place. So what we should be doing is sending 1 person to go for Nexus, which is what we're doing right now, but we should have figured that out, I should have figured it out earlier, which is why I called the 401 and 131, because if you can't take down Nexuses like that, you need to split push. Obviously, this is just ridiculous how fat I am right here, so this doesn't really showcase great mechanics or gameplay or anything. It's just smashing. With any champion when you're this fed, it's just unfair, essentially. Yeah, he really should not have E'd. At that point, when he's that far in, there's really no... He can't get away with wasting his only escape. I guess he has Flash potentially also. That's also someone, Jumbo Antonius, calling me very, 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 very ugly, Azoh. Thank you, Jumbo. That's very nice of you. Gonna go take blue, and then either take inhibitor or take Nashor. I think we really should just take Nexus, or Nashor, or inhibitor, but you just do something at all. I think inhibitor would be optimal, actually. And if we still pathetically can't end with just inhibitor, take inhibitor into Nashor. But at this point, we decide to go for Nashor, or some of us decide to go for Nashor. This is one of my biggest pet peeves in the entirety of League of Legends. 2 people start Nashor, they take extremely much damage, like an extreme amount of damage, because we don't have a sustainer lifesteal. Look at that. I waste my Maw, all my HP, and Lee wastes all of his HP. How much damage would we do to Nashor? A fourth, a third. That's not worth, man. That's not worth. But yeah, we see a ward being placed down, so Gragas is here. Extremely risky because Lee Sin has no HP, and it comes down to exactly who gets it, who gets it, who gets it. We get it, but Lee Sin dies. Whew. That could have gone bad. Terrible, terrible, terrible place, by the way. There was no point in taking Nashor there. Excuse me. Okay, so we end up going for Dragon because, you know, when you're 17, 1 and 3 with 2 inhibitors and they have 1 turret left and Baron, you know what you need? You need that 3rd Dragon to be able to do something. Have I stated this clearly enough yet? This is really, really bad gameplay. We should definitely have finished way before this. Or I should have called for a finish way before this. There's no point to just mess around when they outscale us, which they definitely do. So we end up going for the inhibitor here. And can't still not do much. We're just so scared of going in. We need a proper engage from Lee or Braum. They have to go straight in. So I try to force something on my own. I think I mess up massively here. Well, so far I haven't done much well. Yep, this is moving up like that made me realize that ulting her could result in some serious CC. So I just kind of walk around and make them chase. But we're so far ahead that this doesn't really matter. And essentially, eventually, we end up taking the Nexus for the 2nd win in my placements. Now, if you weren't there at the start, I had a special rule. Actually, this is soon gonna end. I had a special rule put in place where I was gonna do push-ups, 10 push-ups for every 10 push-ups for every death I got. I don't remember if I do them on this clip. I don't think I end up doing them here, but regardless. A sloppy place. I got an S+. Yay. Sloppy place, but I think that showcased pretty well how you can take a hold of a game yourself and completely just take down your opponent, force, because as you saw, the other lanes were doing fine, or at least bot lane was doing really well, because Gragas didn't have much time to go there because he was going mid constantly. So you force jungle attention mid, and if you're already ahead and you play it properly, you can 2v1 mid and keep their attention mid, giving advantage to your other lanes, while still, like, if you're that ahead, you can also roam, letting your jungler do whatever he wants in their jungler or in other lanes, and just continuously pressure, take your mid turret, roam top or bot, and just keep getting kills. And something I really should have done more in that game is get more objectives. But in either case, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I haven't done many game reviews yet. I'm sorry if it was kind of rambly. I hope it was coherent and possibly at least somewhat entertaining. It has been a lot of fun recently, and I really, really like my community. You guys are really cool. I'll see you guys next time, okay? I'll do a review on the LeBlanc game, I think. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.